I didn't know I was an addict. I didn't know I was that bad off. Um, I thought I had it under control. The easiest way to put my childhood growing up would be the word dysfunctional. There's a lot of trauma as a child. I come from two parents that battled addiction, battled a sinful life. The best way to describe that would be alcohol. We pretty much raised ourselves. There was a lot of violence, a lot of physical, even more so mental harm done to us. And my older sister grabbed us then and took us to the police station. And she said, I need my sister and my brother to live with me. So that was a blessing. We supported her. So like every year we'd buy my mom shoes. We would, bring her food, bought her cigarettes. They had found stage 4 lung cancer. So they're wanting to do chemo and radiation. But it got to where she needed full-time help when the chemo and radiation started to affect her. So I quit my job, and most of them days were lived out in a hospital room. She lived right over 6 months. The impact on my life from my mother's final days made me mentally unstable. I ran to Atlanta where I knew no one, and this is probably explains the rest of my life, running. Ended up selling real estate, getting my real estate license, and building a pretty nice life. Met a girl in college named Jamie. Someone introduced her to some pain pills, and she fell into addiction hard. I heard myself at work and knew that she was taking pills, so I went to her for a pain pill. And that's where I was introduced to addiction. Ended up having to retire the real estate license. I didn't know I was an addict. I didn't know I was that bad off. I thought I had it under control. I was arrested for heroin and cocaine. Greenville County picked me up and I went to jail for 10 felony charges. Once I got to Greenville County Jail, I come across a man named Frank. He walked up to me, he'd held a Bible group there. He says, there's an energy coming from you. You're gonna do great things one day and you're gonna serve the Lord. I told this man, I said, I hate God. I was like, you got the wrong guy. And I started going to this Bible study. And I started reading it and started staying in this Bible group more and more. Miracles started happening.
You hear that a lot. These guys have jailhouse religion, and people a lot of times they think it's fake, but like hearing Blake talk about it, I know from my experience it's real, because I remember being in jail, and that's the first time I really felt the gospel, and hearing Blake say that, it means so much to us.
There was a total of 10 charges, all felonies. Everything disappeared to 3 misdemeanors. I'm still walking today with not a felony charge on my record. Now looking back, I know this was me surrendering and God opening up these doors from surrendering. I wasn't fighting anything. Well, I told my caseworker, I was like, I need help. I said, if I'm let out of jail today, I'm going to go to the only place I know to go. She said, you want me to make it where you'll have to go to a rehabilitation treatment. I was in Home of the Heart. I was about a month in, scared to death still, didn't know where I was going afterwards. At this point, I've been baptized. I've dedicated my life to live as sin-free as I can now. Reborn again. I'm feeling great, but at the same time, I'm fearful of the sinful world that I was going to have to go back into. And someone said, well, there's this great place called Sammy's Mission. I called Sammy's Mission and talked to Mandy. She said she'd be glad to have me. I get dropped off at the place I'd be living at Sammy's Mission. The house president answers the door, ray of energy. I mean, high-spirited energy, welcomes me in, and I walk through, and it's a home. It's not a sober living, it's a home. I felt the warmth as soon as I come through the door. People's personalities and the whole situation. It felt like a home. I felt welcomed, I felt safe. And then Mandy Carson comes to me. She pulls up, we're going over paperwork, and I try to hand her $20. I said, this is all I got right now. Mandy asked me, she said, do you have groceries or anything? And I was like, I don't. She gave me the $20 back, plus an additional $60. And she said, get some groceries, that'll get you to payday, or till you can get a job. I'm not worried about it, we're here to help.
When we founded Sammy's Mission, I wanted us to be set apart from most transitional housing in the upstate and all over. You know, I wanted it to be special. I wanted it to feel like a family, not just a place to come and lay your head and rent. It's like a family-oriented place, and we want them to feel like it's home, and that's what sets us apart from everybody else. When he first come in, he was broken, full of resentment, but it's just been amazing, and it's very humbling to see what God's done in his life in the few months that he has been here.
There's hope. There's definitely hope. Something we as addicts that are still actively using don't see at all. We don't know it. We don't know it's out there. There's no hope. That's a lie we're telling ourselves. There is hope.